Evil has a face, and that face is William Shatner. Well, a mask of William Shatner turned inside out and painted white. Halloween is one of the most beloved horror film series of all time, having made Jamie Lee Curtis a household name and Michael Myers a genre icon. Before you check out David Gordon Green's latest entry in the franchise, it's time to brush up on the key events of the series' long and winding history. Here's the story of Halloween in 5-ish minutes.
What about the boogeyman?
There's no such thing.
Halloween begins, appropriately enough, on Halloween night in the town of Haddonfield, Illinois in 1963. Teenager Judith Myers and her boyfriend are doing, what teens want to do with the house to themselves, but they're being watched by a killer who murders Judith and is revealed to be her 6-year-old brother, Michael. What an horrible little tyke, that's a pun. Michael is locked in a mental asylum for the next 15 years and placed under the care of Dr. Sam Loomis, who after years of attempting to treat Michael, accepts that the young killer is simply put,
purely and simply evil.
Loomis resolves to keep Michael locked away forever, but on the night before Halloween in 1978, Michael manages to break out of the hospital and steal a car, and Loomis knows right where Michael is headed, back home to Haddonfield.
Sam Haddonfield is 150 miles away from here now. Now, for God's sakes, he can't drive a car. He was doing very well last night.
The next day, Haddonfield high schooler Laurie Strode walks to school with Tommy Doyle, the boy she babysits. But on the way, she runs a quick errand for her realtor dad, dropping a set of keys off at the abandoned Myers house. Well, the formerly abandoned Myers house. Michael's holed up in there and sees Laurie and Tommy, deciding then and there that these two just have to die. Michael follows Tommy and Laurie throughout the day, which Laurie notices, and her oblivious friends Annie and Linda, for some reason, totally don't.
Totally.
Loomis arrives in Haddonfield, rambling to the police chief that Michael Myers is back in town and prone to stabbing fits. The chief does the responsible thing and puts all of his best men on bringing Myers to just kidding. He doesn't take him seriously at all because Loomis is, well, a touch hyperbolic.
I told everybody!
But that night, Loomis's worst fears come true. Michael Myers arrives on the block and, as a warm-up for his main course of Laurie and Tommy, kills Annie, Linda, and Linda's boyfriend, Bob. Michael moves on to Laurie, Tommy, and Lindsay, who Annie had left behind to go meet up with her boyfriend. Michael learns quickly that Laurie is no Judith Myers, because despite falling down the stairs and getting slashed in the arm, Laurie fights back. She stabs Michael in the throat, and the eye, and the chest. But mortal wounds won't keep a good serial killer down, and Michael gets back up for round 2. That's when Loomis finally arrives on the scene, unloading his revolver into Michael, who falls out the window. Loomis checks to make sure Laurie's okay before going to make sure Michael is dead, and it turns out that that was a truly poor way to spend those crucial seconds, because somewhere in that time, Michael got up and disappeared into the night. Now this is usually where we'd continue on to tell you the rest of this franchise's insane history. We could tell you that Halloween 2 is pretty much Halloween 1 in a hospital, and that it reveals the bewildering fact that Michael and Laurie are actually brother and sister.
That's Michael Myers' sister.
We could attempt to explain Halloween 3, Season of the Witch, which has nothing to do with the first 2 movies, doesn't include Michael Myers, and features the most irritating jingle ever committed to film.
Happy, happy Halloween, Halloween, Halloween.
We could educate you on Halloween 4, in which we learn that Laurie has died off-screen in a car accident, leaving behind her daughter Jamie, who might one day become just as dangerous a killer as her uncle Michael. We could talk about Halloween 5, in which we discover Jamie and Michael have some kind of weird Rey-Kylo Ren mind connection.
You're just like me.
Yeah, we're only halfway done. We could talk about the fact that freaking Paul Rudd stars in Halloween: The Curse of Michael Myers as a grown-up Tommy Doyle. And the fact that this movie reveals that Michael's been fueled by a druid curse that's made him immortal this whole time.
Damn you!
We could unpack Halloween H2O, which pretty much ignores that Jamie ever existed, revealing that Laurie faked her own death so she could be Josh Hartnett's mom instead, and ends with her decapitating Michael. Psych! Halloween Resurrection shows us that Michael swapped clothes with some poor guy, meaning that Laurie has killed an innocent man. She's committed to a mental hospital and finally is murdered by the real Michael.
I'll see you in hell.
Leaving the rest of the movie in the capable hands of Busta Rhymes.
Trick or treat, motherfucker.
We could even discuss the Rob Zombie remake and sequel where Sabretooth plays Michael Myers.
You know what? Never mind, just shut up.
The new Halloween movie ignores all of that chaotic continuity.
Totally.
That's right. Halloween 2018 is a sequel to only the 1978 original, ignoring all that Michael and Laurie are siblings, Druid curse, Paul Rudd mayhem from the series' shoddy past. The canon is now leaner and meaner, and so is Laurie, who spent the last 40 years after Michael's killing spree and subsequent disappearance training to fend off another attack. And fend off another attack she will. Michael escapes his imprisonment yet again and returns home to Haddonfield for one more showdown with the babysitter he just couldn't kill. Thanks for watching. For more on Halloween, you can check out our review of the new movie, as well as our interview with the cast and filmmakers on why they decided to jettison all that weird continuity that we just told you about. And as always, be sure to follow and subscribe wherever you like to watch IGN.